doubt anyone in the audience has heard it before. Unless you've told it on a previous Get Fact Harder.
I'm not sure.
I don't. I
Brain
didn't. I
is
didn't hear
brain
it that
debugging.
time, so I don't know. I can't remember. But for some reason, Briar Rose decided to pick the moment you arrive to start flipping the fuck out. So I was like, all right, well, we'll just nip this in the bud right here. Out you go.
Well, the moment I looked down and saw that you said Link is away, I heard loud Disney programming pop on, and I turn around, and in the chair right behind me, she's on her tablet, and then I look at my bed on the other side of my keyboard, and they're screaming and hollering. So when I went to send them out of my room, they're both screaming at the top of their lungs and everything else. And
Nah.
finally, just got them calmed down. But apparently, the divine feminine is en route as we speak. So
Joy.
fingers crossed. We're gonna see how this works. We're
I'll
just
cross my toes. You
stuck at
never
the
know. You
ball.
might need the extra juju.
Oh, but hey, I didn't pass out. Still here.
That's good. That's
Time to
bonus.
pack a bowl. That's
That's
my reward.
absolutely. Because it's just about to hit. Did just hit the top of the 10 o'clock hour on the East Coast, so it is official. It's Thursday night in COVID land. Episode number 81
Jesus
of
Christ!
Get
Time
Fact
quick.
Harder. I think it's fair to lead this week. Well, no, I'll save the question for later. I think there's a question that needs to be addressed like a giant white elephant in the room that everybody pretends to not see. But we'll get to that. We'll get there.
You know,
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah. I didn't realize that Swifties were such a thing. I'm really out of touch.
The what?
Swifties,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Taylor Swift fans,
Cult
apparently.
members. Yeah. It's
Um,
if you start thinking about them as cult members, it makes more sense. They've been indoctrinated into a cult whether they realize it or not.
so let's see. Wayne Brady makes Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X. I remember that from Negro Damas on Dave Chappelle show.
Correct.
But I think Swifties make Juggalos look like Yemen's Houthis. Allah Akbar. Anyways,
Well, I mean, I think there's an argument you can make there. Oh, goodness. That was a loud one.
it's the face paint. It's the
Yeah.
face paint. I'm just yeah, I'm coming clean. Anyways, seriously.
Yeah, we do currently have storms rolling through the area, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight, if the broadcast should mysteriously end for some reason, it's probably because of that and not one of the surveillance services this time. Because it's been a while since we've had a good thunderstorm roll through after the sun has already gone down. Usually they come through right before. So this is a little odd, but we do have a cold front coming through as well that's really going to cool things down. And hopefully that's going to be on its way to the East Coast for those of you who may be suffering from the heat over there. Deep breaths.
Deep breaths. Deep
Yeah.
breaths.
Deep breaths and more patience than Job. Hashtag life goals.
Well, I have one mission tomorrow. Should the Lord allow me to wake up, somehow, some way, I'm going to get the material that I need in order to be able to actually lock my door because I have no way to even latch my door. And so
Gotcha.
I have to barricade it with 6 boxes of diapers, one after the other, to at least keep them from climbing through the door, which they're getting open anyway. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Wow. The
And
Yona is
also,
popular this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
they're normally in bed by 8 o'clock, but tonight was special.
Well, of course, you have a show to do, so there has to be disruption. It's not like, again, we went over this last week. I think quite near the beginning of the episode last week. This is not something that is unexpected by myself. You know,
Right.
I understand. I understand the pathology and the patterns of behavior that are most commonly displayed by the pathology. So it's none of this is taking me by surprise. I actually like the fact that it's being caught live for posterity for
Yeah.
the time capsule, because that's the thing. You cannot fake that type of human interaction for the purposes of entertainment. You just can't.
Well, the other issue I'm dealing with now is my music studio slash the storage room for the entire premises here.
Right.
Everything that the kids aren't supposed to touch is thus stored in here
Right.
in a room that I can't even latch the door, much less lock it
Right. Which
right
doesn't
now.
kind of make any sense.
And so now, a couple of mornings now, it's really nice. It's cute. It's heartwarming when my autistic 6-year-old son comes to lay down next to me in the mattress in the middle of the night. It's really nice. It's warm fuzzies all over until you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and the entire fucking room has been turned upside down. I guess, is it KGB or it's FSB now or
Yeah.
FBI? I
FSB.
don't know. I don't know
Well,
what they were
FBI.
looking for,
Yeah.
but I
Same
guess they
difference.
didn't find it. Goddamn son, where is that? Jesus Christ. Okay, there's the laptop. Thank God. Okay, now let me go find the Ethernet cord. Now where's the mouse? Now it's
Ooh.
not good, man. It's not. It's not. It's not good.
All right. We should be good.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was really loud.
Well, oh, thunder and lightning.
Yeah. That was a good thump. I felt it come through the corner of the house.
Ooh,
Well, I'm
I love
close
it when you
to
can
the
feel the
corner, so
pressure drop.
yeah. This is what life is like in a war zone, man. We should probably start getting used to it. That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
Comes from all
God love it.
directions.
I went to put my infants down to sleep, and they both grabbed up and grabbed my hair at the same time and jerked my head back as hard as they could, and my neck went pop, and I saw fucking stars, and then I sit down and wonder, why is my recovery taking so long?
Hmm. Hmm. No, we talked about that this morning in the pre-show meeting.
Oh, that's what that noise was.
What?
So the thunder and lightning we've been experiencing here tonight blew my part of my window out here.
Oh.
Put that back. Okay.
So wait, you guys are getting a storm now too?
Last night it started 10 o'clock, and tonight's round two. This is apparently whatever's left over from what shit almost 7 inches of rain in Chattanooga in 5 hours Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, put I-24, I-75 all underwater. I-59 underwater. Downtown Chattanooga, 4 foot of water across the interstate in like 30 minutes. Because 7 inches of rain on Lookout Mountain, where'd you think the water was going to go?
No, true.
It's got nowhere else to go. And that's, again, I don't understand this whack a mole. Which town is having a 1,000-year flood event today, Drizzle? This is a repeating pattern, Texas Hill Country.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay,
Well, you heard
for
about
example,
Wisconsin, right?
yep, Wisconsin too.
Yeah.
Brazos River, okay? Brazos River and Buffalo Bayou, which are the main um, draining tributaries to the Gulf of Mexico for Houston, Petro, Metro, Harris County in general.
Right.
Brazos River, um, I'm pretty sure within the last, okay, when was Hurricane Harvey? It starts with Harvey.
Was Harvey in the 90s? Let's see.
Hurricane Harvey, Houston, Texas. And that was in 2017. Okay, right.
Oh,
So it's
wow. I
been
was way
8
off.
years ago. 8 years ago.
Okay.
In 8 years' time, on the Brazos River, I'm pretty sure there's been 4,000-year flood events in 8 years on the Brazos River in Houston.
Wow.
Pretty sure.
Well,
Pretty
if it's a
sure.
1,000-year flood event, I mean, it's kind of, wouldn't you expect it to be like multiple years, multiple seasons?
Right. And so this statistical cluster of 500-year and 1,000-year flood events just blanketing across the country is statistically so anomalous and unprecedented. Well, I'm not going to say they're weaponizing
Well, there were
weather
some
because
records that
they
were
already
broken.
bragged about it years ago. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, I saw who was Brian, the GoPro fishing show guy, had posted on Twitter that it was like wherever he is, which I don't know where he is in the country right off the top of my head. But he said it had been like god awful hot, and then it was just like torrential rain immediately following just the worst heat ever. And so I responded to him and I was like, well, that's really interesting because like our humidity is like really, really low and has been for most of the summer, which
that's
is
strange.
really
It's normally
strange.
very
Really
humid down in
strange.
French, Texas.
Yeah. Because I mean, there are days like today where I'll go out and it's supposed to be like 90 degrees and a bunch of humidity, and I'm like, I don't feel it.
So if you're half Texas cowboy and half Louisiana coon ass, does that make you coon boy or cow ass?
Uh, I think it depends on which side you claim first.
And for those
Because I
listening
can
on the
see
radio,
people going the coon boy direction. I can see them going the cow ass direction.
for those listening on the radio, if you happen to hear screams and other strange noises in the background, it's normal. Don't worry about it.
We usually edit them out in post, but we're not going to have time to do it this week. So you just kind of get what you get.
Well, I
But
called
you
at
also get what you pay for, folks. Remember that.
9:56 and was told we're on the way back. Takes 10 minutes to get back here. That would be 10:06. And okay, let me pull up this song. I do have a song I was going to throw up today, so I guess I'll throw it up now. For those of you that enjoy the moonshine, we got some
Wow.
moonshine action for you here.
Oh, nice.
Let me see.
I like some shine every now and then.
My content. Hit change.
My favorite is the blackberry. In case
Oh,
anyone was wondering.
Blackberry cobbler moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! If you don't know, you don't know. All right, so why doesn't? Aha! There it goes. Finally queued up. Okay, to get this queued up and share. Yep, and the laughing and banging against the walls is now 3 kids crying and screaming. So yeah,
Oh, she's home then.
no, she's not. Well,
Oh.
maybe home, but didn't come here. All right, so
Oh.
here is the video. Play.
Hello, my name's Ronald Lawson.
Oh, I might need to
We're
turn
at
this
Short
up.
Mountain Distillery in Cannon County. This is a old-timey still that was used back in the Depression days where they cooked with wood and stuff. And it's still an operational still if you want it to be. I want to show you how the old-timers told the difference between high alcohol and the regular drinking alcohol. This jug here is one of the first jugs that came off. See how big the beads are and how quick they go away? It's so high, it won't hold a bead. All right, now we got a jug here. It's getting down closer to drinking whiskey. This one's about 107 proof. See, the beads are a lot smaller and they'll last a lot longer. And we never did use no hydrometers out in the woods. We just always, we could shake it and we could tell. And this builds a bridge all the way across it when you shake it. So that's how you can tell it's good alcohol.
I always said since I was a little kid, someday that's what I was going to end up doing, making liquor and hauling it 2 and 3, kick-ass liquor. And when I got old enough and got me a little still made, I done just what I said I was going to do, 2 and 3, kick-ass liquor. Well, the first still I ever owned, it had 1 barrel, 50 gallons. I didn't have no money to buy no still with. So I went to an old man, his name was Nick Price, a damn good fella.
Live from the 304.
2 and 3, kick-ass liquor. You know, Nick always had a little money. He loaned me enough money to buy the copper and the sorter with. So I took the copper to 2 and 3, kick-ass liquor. Junior Valentine, a man over on Cosby, he's been dead now, I guess 20-some years. But he made me a little pot. I forget what it cost, had it made back then. It wasn't near what it would cost now. But I got that little barrel pot, I took it back on Snowbird Mountain, and I made liquor, 2 and 3, kick-ass liquor. Just had up 2 barrels of beer. That's all I could afford to keep up, buy sugar and stuff for. And that's how I got my first still. I borrowed the money and paid it back with liquor. 2 and 3, kick-ass liquor. I paid Nick back with liquor. Every time I'd make a run, I'd pay him a gallon on what I owed him, which I only got $6 for a whole damn gallon. Seems like it took me forever to pay him what I owed him, but I paid him that for the last penny. And I'd give him 1 gallon on my debt, and I'd sell him the other 5. He'd pay me cash. Well, I'd go buy my stuff back to put it back with, and I'd have a little money left to buy me some groceries. And back then I was renting, it only cost $10 a month to load half of it. 2 and 3, kick-ass liquor. Anyway, I got up to 4 barrels. I had a big operation, I thought. Well, I was making a little more money every time I kept getting bigger. And anyway, I had an old 46 model Willis Jeep, and they had pinholes eating the gas tanks under the driver's seat. And I'd pour a gallon of gas in it that morning when I left college. And he'd take me all the way to the top of Snowbird Mountain, that 1 gallon. Alright, I always kept me another gallon in the back of it. But before it hit that evening, when I headed off Snowbird to get back to college again. So, I happened to look, damn, I forgot to set my gallon of gas in there. And I hadn't tempered the liquor, I just set it in the Jeep. And I had it numbered like that. The jugs, I had it in gallon glass jugs and had it numbered. Number 2 is your highest jug. And number 3. Number 1's got a little bit of condensation in it out of worm, but 2 and 3 is kick-ass liquor, shots. I poured that number 2 jug in there. No Jeep wouldn't start, no way, it didn't have no compression in the motor. You always had to roll it off the church, you had to park it on the hill or you wasn't going to start it. I just had to pour that gallon of shots in there. I pushed it off, but damn, you couldn't see it from blue smoke. But like I said before, I poured the shots in it. I met old man Nick Price coming from out in that 4-wheel drive Ford truck. He's just flying. He's about one of the big laws down yonder at Clay Mathis' house. He said, "But you better turn around and go backside of Snowbird." I said, "Hell, I ain't got no gas. I run out of gas." Well, he said, "Let's see if we can cycle some ice truck." I had a hose laying in the back of the Jeep. We couldn't get the hose to fit in that truck gas tank. It made it wouldn't go in some way. So I told him, I said, that's when I poured the shots to it. I said, "I'll make the damn thing run." I poured them shots down there and fired it off. You couldn't see it from blue smoke. I backed it up in the woods, turned around, went across backside of Snowbird by the tire and down the mountain and come out on the grassy corner. And went on the college. And my liquor and everything else. 2 and 3 is kick-ass liquor. 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 2 and 3 is kick-ass liquor.
Damn, that's crazy. I sit like that sometimes. Yeah. Probably why I have problems with my hips. That was awesome.
Now people think they ain't nothing to making this liquor, but they're damn bad wrong, cause it's took some work to set this up.
It sure did, Popcorn. Rest in power, homie.
Oh, there we go. I hit the wrong button.
Fortunately, by the time I've turned my microphone back on, most of the screams are back down to purgatory level, Dante. Anyway.
Yeah. I can't hear
Apparently,
it.
there's this huge in-between world. It's not just heaven and hell. There's this purgatory.
There's purgatory. There's limbo. There's pandemonium. There's a bunch of different quasi levels of
I
existence.
think the way that South Park described, or the way that South Park portrayed purgatory is, you're on the plane, but you can't take off. But you can't deplane.
Right. Can't get off the plane.
Can't get off the plane, but the plane ain't taking off. And it's actually still even like docked to the little machine penis that comes from
Yeah.
the
They have a word
terminal
for it.
and mates with the plane.
I can't remember what it's called though. But there is a word for it. Like I've heard airline personnel use the word before.
I guess we're gonna have. It's time for me to get backed up because I don't remember what it's called.
I don't know.
Airline gate.
Is it the
movable
gangway?
gate?
No, that's for a ship.
Airline movable gate. No, not that. Movable plane apron. Maybe is that what it's called? The movable. It's called the apron. A movable apron refers to a
That's
system or
not
layout
what
that.
I've heard, but
No, that's not it.
I don't know.
Plane apron. It's the ramp area where the movable apron. No, that's not it.
The internet is getting dumber, Yona, along with all the people that use it.
Airline gate hallway into airplane. The jet bridge.
Okay, I'll
Jetway.
accept that
It's
answer.
called the jetway. There it is.
There you
Jetway.
go.
The jetway.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right.
The judges said yes. That's good. Thumbs up. We got the thumbs up on that.
God. Who wants to be a millionaire? Phone a friend. So
Yeah. So now that you're all out of sorts,
I was gonna say, the
is it
moonshine
Wednesday?
popcorn Sutton, the moonshine video. There
Yeah.
we go. Coming back to me now. Um, I'm trying to think where it was. Let's see here. Oh, I'm standing down on that creek bank now, looking at the steel works, and it was a massive. I mean, fuck, they had 6 stills side by side by side by side by side,
Oh wow.
and it it was a part of the creek where it actually made an oxbow into the side of a stone valley, so it was like hidden underneath like what we call a rock house, which is basically like a rock overhang, but because the creek ate out an oxbow bend that went way up underneath the limestone, and so there was this like natural, and it had like sandy banks, and then you had the 6 stills right there and everything. Um, Still put together. I mean,
Hmm.
looked to be 100 years old when I was looking at them, but
Wow.
man, what an operation they had going down in that little hole there. That was on. God damn, I gotta think of that fucking creek. That was up in St. Francis, right outside of Dance. The Aaron Miles Farm. Okay. Aaron Miles Farm. Pottinger's Creek. Uh yeah, that's it, man. Right. And so what was wild was, okay, where this creek made the oxbow into the side of the stone canyon. I'm gonna say because there's a state road that runs across that creek just above the waterfall.
Hmm.
Because when the creek goes underneath the highway, it's like a regular highway concrete bridge, but the bridge is only about maybe 12 foot long and it's 20 foot wide. It looks more like a box culvert, really. And it's only maybe 6, 7 foot from bottom to top.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bottleneck for water. Whenever there's flash flooding, water goes over the road there because it's not big enough. However, immediately on the other side of the road, you go like 5 foot and blam, there's like a 120-foot waterfall. And the creek goes into this deep ass fucking stone box limestone canyon. Sinkholes on both sides, caves everywhere. And
Swimming hole.
within 50 feet of the bottom of the waterfall over on the side is the first big oxbow bend where it goes up underneath where they had the stills.
Hmm.
And then they had water coming right off the fucking waterfall.
Perfect spot.
Perfect. What was cool was when I went to pin the property corner, where the line came up to the right of way, on the side of that thing, I actually found like they had taken a perfectly smooth piece of limestone to make like a platform, and
Mhm.
they had a winch and pulley system so that you could stand on the side of the public road and then winch jugs of moonshine marked triple X 150 foot down in that fucking hole right by the edge of the goddamn, what a system.
Yeah.
What a fucking system. And then right there by that big piece of bedrock that they had for like, like concrete pad, but it's one solid piece of stone they laid in there. Um, in the old days, that was the old hollow sycamore tree. And so that was literally the hollow tree on the side of the road where you stop and stick your money in one hole and then an arm pops out the other hole of the fucking hollow tree trunk with your fucking shine. Fuck yeah, man.
That's how you do it.
That area of Marion County in central Kentucky is called Little Chicago. Little Chicago, also known as St. Francis Post Office, Kentucky, because it was called Chicago, Kentucky, and they kept getting the mail mixed up with the Chicago, Illinois. So they're like, well, fuck it. It's in St. Francis Parish, so we'll just call it St. Francis then. But everybody to this day still calls it Little Chicago. It's about
Is there a lot of
5
Mexicans there?
miles, maybe 5 miles west of the Maker's Mark Bourbon Whiskey Distillery in Loretta,
Okay. I
Kentucky,
know
where
the
they
area
get
you're
the
talking
bottles
about.
and the
Yeah.
red wax. Anyway,
Yeah.
bourbon country. Jim Beam,
Bourbon
Evan
country.
Hill,
Yeah.
Barry L. Barton.
Yeah.
It's
They're
all
all
about
all down in
distilling.
that
And,
area. I think we've
prior
even covered that
to,
on a previous episode, if I'm not mistaken.
was it Carrie Nation who was taking the sledgehammer to the big barrels of beer? The temperance movement,
Oh,
prohibition,
I can't
and
remember.
prior to prohibition in Marion County and Nelson County alone, there was over 52 different distillery works.
Mhm.
After prohibition, I think it was 12,
Something like that. It was greatly reduced.
and today there's only 2 in Marion County. What's left in Nelson County? Let's see. At Clermont, you got Jim Beam. Bardstown, you got Barton, Heaven Hill, um, Double A. That's it. Ancient Age. So
Where's Evan Williams Distillery?
Evan Williams Tennessee whiskey, Stout
Ah,
Tennessee.
gotcha.
Um, which means it wasn't aged in a charred white oak barrel. Instead, it was aged in a regular white oak barrel.
Correct.
But then when they pop the bunt and empty the barrel, they pour it over white oak charcoal. So Tennessee whiskey is just whiskey that's been charcoal filtered at the end of the process, whereas an actual Kentucky bourbon
Hmm.
has been aged for numerous years inside of a charred white oak barrel.
Correct.
Hence the
But there is
delicious
an
vanilla
Evan
tea.
Williams bourbon. It's a Kentucky bourbon that they make
Oh,
that is quite good. I enjoy it quite a bit.
where is Evan
That's why I
Williams
was
made?
wondering where their distillery was.
Oh, Evan Williams Bourbon Distillery is in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh,
That would be Jefferson County.
okay.
But yeah, to
Well, that
my
makes sense.
mind, to my memory, at this point, there's basically 4 distilleries left. Wait a second. That's right. Jim Beam is in Boston. So Jim Beam has a distillery down in Boston, Kentucky.
Hmm.
Their main distillery works at Clermont, Kentucky. Is actually in Bullitt County. But still, Jim Beam, Heaven Hill, Barton, and Ancient H. Those 4, I think, are the ones in
So
the 4
is
big distilleries.
Is Bullet the bourbon named after Bullet County?
Yes,
Interesting. That's
yes.
another good one.
That's Clermont, Kentucky, Jim Beam Distillery, and they make a lot of stuff there. Make a lot of stuff there.
Oh, again, for folks that didn't catch the earlier episode, one of my previous exes actually worked for Virginia Alcoholic Beverage Control, or as we called it in the Commonwealth, the liquor store, because
Yep.
they're all state controlled. So
Same thing in
I
Ohio.
got to sample quite a bit of the selection over about a decade or so. There's a lot of good bourbons out there, and most of them come from Kentucky.
I don't know if I've ever shared my song Red Wax.
I think we
Actually,
did. I think we played it on the previous episode where we talked about the various Kentucky bourbon distilleries.
yeah. We have that. Yes, yes. Okay, it's coming back. I mean, 81 episodes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did because my survey office was on the same road as Maker's Mark, and
Right.
I mean, I did the property survey. Laid out the new street pattern and all that shit. Know Bill Samuels well. He's the distiller, and he would know Anselmo quite well. I've worked on that property quite a bit. I mean, hell, Mom and Dad got to hang out with Bill and Hillary Clinton at the Maker's Mark Distillery when they came down to visit during Derby weekend. Along with that's another time Dad got to chill with Leon Panetta, and hobnob because my mom and dad both were heavily involved in the Kentucky State Democratic Party, and that's why, lucky me, when I'm like 12, 13 years old, first time I get tapped on the shoulder. Hey, you're going to be coming up to Frankfurt with us this weekend. Oh, cool. What's going on? It's the Kentucky State Democratic Convention, and you're the youth delegate for Marion County. Oh, really? Yeah, we signed
Joy.
you up. Oh, so what's that going to be like?
Hell. Wow.
Well, I look back
What a
on it
horrible
now,
thing to do to your child.
and it makes me feel better because I actually feel less miserable now than when I was at that goddamn. It wasn't a convention; it was the other thing. Youth caucus.
Oh, okay. So it was a orgy.
I was a youth caucus representative. I was there to rep for caucus.
You were literally the youth caucus. Do you want to show us on the doll where they touched you?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to hold poster board in front of the glass at this time. You're not allowed to see what's going on in our audit process. It's how we do things in Georgia. Anyways,
And Michigan.
transparency.
Yeah.
And of course, my favorite thing is, oh my God, how could you talk about putting cameras on the voter drop boxes? That's a violation of privacy? I mean, all of the fusion cameras that are on poles and traffic lights everywhere.
Right.
That's
Right.
not an issue. And the fact that there even is a so-called drop box where you can just drop off your. Maybe we should just do away with the whole vote drop box thing to begin with. Anyway,
I have a feeling they have a solution.
And what happens
I
if just
think
voting on voting day and doing the thumbprint like you're in India or like, come on.
I think they have a solution, Yona, and I think they're just about ready to show it to us. I think we've seen the beginning of the marketing campaign already. I think that's pretty much apparent. The whole digital interoperability structure.
How can we revitalize our vibrant, thriving democracy with more democracy voting when what's it called? Not Diebold. What's the other company? ES&S, Diebold and ES&S. The two main the duopoly that controls the majority of all the electronic vote tabulating machines, which
Right.
unfortunately, for proprietary reasons, we're not allowed to know all of the code involved
Well,
because
no,
it's a
you
private
might
contractor that's
do
providing
something
the service
dangerous,
to
Yona.
the local vote counters in your
Right.
jurisdiction. So, long story short, at this point, you get to cast a fake vote in a fake system for fake candidates who are going to be in the fake government that reassures you that you're really changing things. Yeah, yeah.
It's about right.
And the whole, maybe what I'm failing to properly acknowledge is Americans and America is an empire built on faith at this point. You just have to have a little
Hmm.
bit of faith in this fiat dollar
Hmm.
currency, George Michael. You just got to
Belief.
have a little bit of faith in the settled science.
Yeah.
Why would you question that? Don't even think about it. You
Well,
just got
it's
to have a
yeah.
little bit of faith in Trump or Kamala or whoever is wearing your action figure tights and cape. Um,
It's statism.
it's it's beyond fact and emotion. It's now a spiritual connection to whatever you're told. Just recite the Nicene Creed. You want to go to heaven or not? You hit all the bases. We believe that in one God, God of all God, light from light, true God. Yeah, come on, every part of it, every part of it. Just repeat it. Don't worry about it. Just repeat it. We'll explain the Trinity later. And that's political thought, ideological thought. That's Overton window boxes. That's if you want to have an argument about a dick, that's the box your dick has to go in, Justin Timberlake. And it's an ever changing lexicon of red words and blue words,
Hmm.
approved narrative terminology, and the verboten lexicon. Oh, you're one of those. I've heard about your kind. Truthers with your conspiracy. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you still
I
have
know.
people that respond in that way?
On CNN, on
Well,
YouTube
that's
videos.
media. That's fake. That's not real life. I'm talking about like, well, granted, you haven't been getting out of the house much lately, so maybe you're not the best person to
Well, the
ask. But
last conversation I had on that line was about the space program.
mhm.
And it was the last discussion of the space program. And I had that ace right at the edge of my sleeve, like, you know, what's his name? Doc Holliday. I'm your Huckleberry. We're doing it, Tombstone. I'm about to pull this ace out of my sleeve, and because I've watched the video of Stanley Kubrick admitting to such, but they're just going on and on about how it's fascinating with the Apollo space program and the moon buggy and the spacewalks
Did you ask
and
him
it
if he
was at
still
that
writes
point
letters
that I
to Santa
realized,
too?
okay, I'm not the one believing in a conspiracy theory of a
Right?
fantastic fucking thing.
Well, that's
You're
the
the one
cognitive
that's telling
dissonance.
me
Yeah.
this fabulous, fantastic Hollywood story about how we conquered the moon, and it's actually a Hollywood story about how we conquered. Stanley Kubrick did a great job. But how
Well,
do you? I
except
mean,
for
it was at
the
that point I
outtakes.
realized all
Yeah.
this shit is projection.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are marketing in conspiracy theory because the narrative they're trying to sell is the baloney fucking narrative.
Well, yeah, but it's because that's the way the programming is designed.
Yeah.
It's not, again, it's not, I have to remind myself of this constantly as well. It's not because these people are doing it intentionally. Yes, they may exhibit what can be interpreted as malice in the course of demonstrating their behavior, but they're really not in control of their own minds.
Classic example, Daily Plaza, Dallas,
Hmm.
Texas, November 22nd, 1963. All right. The conspiracy theory, in fact, is Patsy Oswald up on the fourth floor of the Texas School Book Depository building, or fifth floor, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
at his window perch, is somehow steering his magical
There's a
fucking
museum there
bullet.
now.
It's threading back and forth Connolly's wrist and back through here. Now it's up through his fucking end. Blah blah blah.
Right.
That
Right.
is the
Because the magic
ridiculous
bullet was
conspiracy
not a
theory.
conspiracy theory. Yeah.
The actual truth of what happened is rendered a conspiracy theory that it was a fucking turkey shoot, but the dude on the grassy knoll fucking peeled his fucking wig. Blam! And back into the right, Bill Hicks, back into the right. And it's like, it's so fucking obvious that what is maligned by the CIA or whoever is maligning the actual true narrative, instead, they're much more fantastic and elaborate and grandiose narrative is the actual bunk ass conspiracy theory
Yes.
that's so fantastic and fabulous. It's ludicrous.
Correct.
It's ludicrous.
Do you understand why that works with the masses?
Not really. That's why I brought it up.
Because it requires a leap of faith in order to be part of that club. So it accesses the God part of the brain.
See, you just got to take this on faith. Quit waiting for facts. Just feel it. Just feel it. And then, if one of those conspiracy theorists starts talking that truthy McTruth shit to you, give them the old hexy wexy there. Say, away from me, Satan. Not falling for your shit. I believe. Not going to let your facts fuck up my feelings.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, there's with all of the things that are supposed to be normal and mainstream stuff that you're supposed to invest your belief into, there's always a component of control with all of those things. Doesn't matter if we're talking about government or we're talking about religion or we're talking whatever. It doesn't matter. There's always an element of control associated with that leap of faith. And over time, that's what's allowed me to identify a lot of the manipulation that takes place in our society. Because whatever it is, whatever that thing is that makes a human want to believe in something that they cannot factually prove, it is a very strong urge in our species. And there are people on this planet that understand that and have developed methods for manipulating it over long periods of time.
The incredible thing to me is, despite this moment in time of where I'm in such a dark place, it's ironic, very ironic at this point, where I take solace and comfort. And that is in the fact that even though I may feel like a worthless eater, a useless eater, that's how I and you and most everyone else is viewed by the powers that shouldn't be. And they gladly boast of it. I mean, that's kind of what makes an Untermensch versus an Übermensch.
Yeah.
And this constant indoctrination and reinforcement of the fact that You should know how worthless you are. You should know how useless your existence is. If you can't
You
feed them,
should
don't
know how
breed
much
them.
of a burden you are on everyone else.
Nothing is more of a burden to a country and a nation and a society than people having children. Obviously, a nation has no fucking need of a birth rate. How much more selfish could you be than to
Hmm.
have a bunch of kids, but you're breeding, but you can't feed them, and you want other people to help feed the fucking kids? We don't need kids for this country to survive. Fuck off, babies.
Well, I mean, we're basically at the point where we don't really need people to make kids anymore. We can just
That's
make
right.
kids now whenever we want.
And most everyone is worthless and useless eating anyways, which kind of makes genociding and demociding your own peoples country by country. You're just doing the Lord's work.
Hmm.
You're welcome, climate change. We're saving the earth here. Who's with me? Shout out Malthus.
Who was it? Somebody mentioned on one of the broadcasts in the live stream chat, I think it was, that visits to porn sites, traffic to porn sites, were down.
Really?
Yeah, because of the age related verification stuff that's starting to go into place now.
Oh.
Is was kind of what I was getting from it.
Oh. Well, we're going to have to do the digital ID just in order to keep the kids online safe. Got to do it for the kids. That's why they
Well,
got the
yeah, that's the way they're
KOSA Act,
positioning it.
the KOSA Act, Kids Online Safety Act, or as
That's
I
right.
like to call it, Cosa Nostra. It's great
Well, it's
democracy out
the
there. Be careful if something bad happened to it. We're going
it's
to need to verify your age digitally first.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the American version of what the UK already has, basically. Because we
They
covered
keep
that
running
on
ads on it.
Tuesday night.
They've got all these great, you betcha, don't you know, Ohio Northern Midwestern accent. Apparently, people in Minnesota talk the same way in Ohio because they're talking like they're from, yeah, I don't know. I'm good friends with Amy Klobuchar's. And I'm like, what the fuck? And these are Ohioans?
Hmm.
Ohioan. Ohio. Ohio.
Ohioans, Ahoyans.
Ohio. Can is there any way I could buy a consonant, Vanna? It's got too many vowels.
Yeah.
Flip another level over, bitch. Shout out Pat Sajak. So the fake ass fucking, and I guarantee you that bitch is probably on the Minnesota ads for their state online safety act because this is being run through
Oh, I'm
different state
sure.
houses
I'm sure.
simultaneous to the push in the district. The district. You know,
Huh.
I'm a rail buff. I love transit projects, and I know that I've shit on the purple line once or twice already. And to be fair, we're talking Prince George County, Maryland, which I would like to think is one of my favorite toilets. I mean, if I'm driving on the 495 and I just passed Tyson's Corner and I
Right.
got a shit, I don't care if it's the bubble guts. I'm squeezing cheeks till I get across the Potomac. I'm laying this turd in Gaithersburg. Fuck y'all. Um, but I already shit on the purple line.
Shout out PG County.
That's not even in the district, anyways. We're going
Yeah.
into the district now, and I'm
Yeah.
taking us there. But first, we're going
Suit
to the
up.
part of DC I never recommend you to go to.
Oh,
There's
Capitol Heights.
there's basically three sections of DC: Northwest,
Uh huh.
Northeast,
Uh huh.
and the part you don't want to go to, Anacostia your life,
Yep.
or Anacostia River.
Yeah.
It, it could
Well,
cost your
well,
life.
well. It's.
Um,
I mean, they've been cleaning up like the waterfront area. Like that's not as nearly as bad as it used to be, or at least it wasn't before COVID. I don't know what it's like now.
well, that was going to be the beginning of the new surface level District of Columbia Light Rail Streetcar
Well,
Network.
yeah, the whole area was scheduled for gentrification, and they got some of it done.
Well, I got bad news for you. The millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that were spent on a street level trolley streetcar line that's with rails in the middle of the street, and it has to stop at stoplights like everybody else. And it's going up and down a 2-lane road to begin with, which means now traffic is going to be. Anyways, the good news is
And they didn't see the
spent
problem
those
with this
millions of
beforehand?
dollars and have yet to ever use it, and at this point, probably never will use it. So it's a feel-good story. Maybe I should pull that up.
That'd be about the dumbest thing for modern day DC that I think you could possibly do.
DC
Let's add more shit to the street to try and alleviate traffic. That's what I just heard you say. Let's put more shit on the street, and that'll make traffic better.
All right. So, you might say, but Yona, the metro's great with the green line and the red line and the orange line and the silver line.
Have you been on Metro lately?
Yeah, again. So, Anacostia line was supposed to fill in that gap, even though they've already got the green line. Let me just cut to this here. Let's see. That'll work. This looks like a nice little geek. Put somebody else on blast here.
What?
Share. All right. And I guess before I do this, we will pull out a map. And we're not going to Google Maps. We learned our lesson last week now, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Shout out Raven Rock.
Let's go to OpenStreetMap and share this tab instead. That's right. I was looking at gee, can you tell where Russia and Ukraine are fighting? It might be where every single railroad line is severed and no longer attaching to one another. Maybe.
Yeah, that might be it.
Maybe. That might be it, because there's the Crimea, there's Kerch.
Wow.
Isn't this great? You get the Cyrillic on top and the English on bottom. Romanska. But we're going to the district. Let's see. We're going to get there the same way the settlers got there. So we're with John Rolfe and John Smith. And the first place we're going to hit
through the
is Bermuda. All right, we made it. Wait a second. Is this all there is? Okay, we're going to have to keep going.
This can't be it.
This can't be it. All right, well, we'll go ahead and found St. George's. And now let's go found Jamestown.
There you go.
Boy, that's a lot of blue out there. Whoa, slow down. We didn't want Carolina. Roanoke, that didn't work out so well, remember?
That wasn't so good.
Aha, here we are. Let's get down here by Fort Story. I know First Landing is around here somewhere. Okay, that's Virginia Beach.
Wait, why are we in Virginia Beach?
Oh, there it is. There's Fort Story. And there's First Landing, because that's where they made their first landing.
Oh.
First Landing. And then up the James River to Jamestown.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone call it the Jamie River or Jamie-town.
Nope.
But then
Not
again,
once.
some people are thrown off of this ferry when they try to cross to Scotland. It happens. Next thing you know, you fall backwards into the water. It's Jamestown. FAF. Huh. Felk around, find out. There you go. FAF. Fucking ass Felker.
All right, so what are we looking for here? What are we looking at the
All
map
right,
for?
I'm beating around the bush. Let's get up here to the District of Columbia. So, what happened to my little border here?
I know normally the female members of the audience like that, but we need to get down to business.
Oh,
We're already an hour in, so.
Here we go. Aha! There we go. Now, if you
God damn, why does that look like a giant birth canal all of a sudden? That's incredible.
You look at this, you might actually notice that this straight line actually goes straight across into Virginia, and then it turns 90-degree angle, and it shoots all the way down to this point, right by Jones Point Lighthouse, is one of the actual survey cornerstones, the southern cornerstone to the District of Columbia itself is right there, right next to the Jones Point. I've touched it with my hands and my dick. It was a glorious thing. Now, the Virginia portion of the District of Columbia was ceded back to the Commonwealth of Virginia by President Lincoln during the Civil War.
That's right. And D.C. never got it back.
Because they had decided they were going to emancipate the slaves within the District of Columbia, but only the ones that were on the Potomac side. So they just got rid of the other side of D.C.
Yeah. Because it was originally supposed to be more of a diamond shape.
Yep, and you can clearly see on this map the perfect diamond shape going into Virginia and coming back out. Well, that leaves, so that's what happened to, if you may have wondered, how come you only went northwest, northeast, southeast? Because southwest Washington
is Virginia.
Pretty much.
So Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church.
Southwest that's at the National Mall and the Arlington Bridge, but that doesn't count. Just ignore it. There's basically northwest, northeast, and south Washington. South Washington is dominated by Anacostia. And you got Fort Leslie and Joint Base Anacostia, Bowling Air Force Base,
Naval Yard,
Agency.
Yeah.
Anyhow, this is basically the taint of DC through here. The Navy Yard, Sousa Bridge. You used to have RFK down here, not anymore.
Well, they're gonna. I think they're doing something with that property. I don't know if they're putting up another stadium or not, but.
So, anyways, this is the area that we're talking about, where, despite the bottleneck of getting all of the metro lines on the same bridge into DC, so that is
genius idea
bottleneck for all traffic from Virginia into the district, because there's only one way metro crosses the Potomac, and that's on their bridge next to. Anyways, I'm getting off track here. So let's go back to the streetcar line. Are you ready to enjoy some tax dollars at waste?
Oh, yeah.
Have instead and play. – 2009. All right.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be great.
Soon, these tracks will carry modern streetcars, just like the ones already operating in Portland, Oregon. 2 streetcar lines are already under construction in Anacostia and along the H Street Benning Road corridor. But those 2 segments are just the beginning. The District Department of Transportation has an ambitious plan to install 37 miles of streetcar tracks across the city. There will be 8 streetcar lines in all, built in 3 phases.
Such a bad idea.
They will make it easier for residents to move between neighborhoods, especially in areas underserved by Metro Rail. In the first half of this century, the streetcars will make their comeback, carrying residents from neighborhood to neighborhood in modern comfort.
They already have buses that do that.
You realize most of the track was completed by 2009. And a reminder, this is being recorded on August the 14th of 2020 fucking 5.
25,
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh, not looking so good, Chris.
Why, hello. I'm Andy, and I'm here at the corner of Firth Sterling Avenue Southeast and South Capitol Street on the remains of the Anacostia line, the modern streetcar line here in DC that never opened. In the last video, we explored the line from one end to the other, but today, we're going to do a deep dive to uncover the history behind this line's demise. So join me, ride with me, and let's begin this journey.
Okay, I don't know what that white crusty stuff is in the corner of his mouth, but when he said "Why hello" to introduce
I
himself,
don't know. It's somebody wrote that script for him. It's kind of obvious.
yeah,
That wasn't a natural delivery.
no, it wasn't. Um, I hate to do like the Trump, but buddy, you're fired. Andy is not on track. You will notice not a subscriber.
It's fine. We don't. I mean, we can watch the video.
What's left?
I'm
of
just
the old-
saying he's not a very good actor. If that's what he's trying to do.
Is he? I did not. I see. I watched a video about that.
Well,
and it
there's
was
one right
not-
there.
It was not Andy's on track. It was somebody else, and now they're pushing me this guy.
They do that.
The Forgotten Street line. 5 minutes instead of 30 minutes. This is way better. All right. Oh my God.
What?
They're still running the same rolling stock?
Yeah.
They've never replaced the train? So why?
Why?
Well, eventually you replace the train cars with big city. Wow. Well, to be fair, that was the train to Anacostia. I mean, if you were on a train to Anacostia, a lot of people get that with their cars. All right. Yep, there's another sketch spot. Another morning. Boy, that's for some oil fans right there. That's painful to look at.
Damn.
Banana curve. Okay, all right.
I guarantee you, traffic was fucked up while they were laying the track too.
Oh yeah. This is terrible camera work. And I hate to be so critical, but first guy, no. Second one, yeah, you're fired too.
I mean, the music was kind of a snoozer.
Yeah. All right. So, Anacostia streetcar line expense. Total expense. Don't tell me what it was projected. My God.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
All right. So, let's go over here, share this tab instead. According to the AI overview from Google, the Anacostia streetcar line project in Washington District of Columbia faced, prepare yourself, trigger alert, significant cost overrun.
What? A government project went over budget?
The total expense exceeding million for a 1.3-mile surface line intended to connect Joint Base Anacostia Bowling to the Anacostia Metro Station. $200 million. And you know what you got for it?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, you got a couple of spots of curbs on both sides that are just eating the shit out of some poor bastard's fucking oil pan. Like, God, did you see how beat up those raised curbs were at the loading platform spots?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ouch.
I mean, that's typical for DC. It really is. I mean, it's not just DC, it's the whole metro area. Because it doesn't get any better once you get into Maryland or Virginia. All the roads in that area are fucked up, and they don't do anything to make them any better. They only ever make them worse.
Now I'm trying to find this fucking map of the federal district within DC.
This might be a good time to remind you, mumbling and radio, not a good combination.
So I'm trying to find a map of the federal militarized district land within the District of Columbia.
Right. Which we found a link for earlier today.
Oh,
remember? I sent it to you on Telegram. Problem is, you can use the link and you can use it to access the page, but the material that was on that page has been removed.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, and it is a .mil website for folks in the audience that may be curious about it.
What?
So at one time there was an accessible page. Let's see. Let me find out exactly which way it's getting routed. There we go. Army.mil. But there's nothing there.
Try that. Separate federal military district within the DC secure perimeter. It's important to clarify that while the District of Columbia has a military district of Washington, which is headquartered in D.C. and has installations in nearby Maryland and Virginia, according to Joint Task Force National Capital Region, this is not a separate military-controlled district within a security blah, 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 blah. Rather, the MDW, Military District of Washington, focuses on providing military support for the National Capital Region. Blah, 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 blah. And so it's one of these things that's been memory hold, and that's one of the main things I wanted to get fact harder about tonight. So we're going to have to dig a little bit harder. Get me off Google. Get me off Google now. Go to Ecosia. Google's dog shit. Google's the problem, not the solution. All right.
Let me see if I can come up with something.
Who was inaugurated with Bernie Sanders folding his arms?
Biden.
That was the Biden inauguration.
Well, that was the Biden installation.
Installation, right, the military installation. That's when, okay. Because it was ostensibly because of the January 6th, where they said it was Stop the Steal and Ray Epps and all that. Okay, let me see here. And hence the need to bolster security and protect our sacristy of democracy and our clergy that practice democracy. So let's see here. New secured. Okay.
Well, they have a page on Facebook, the U.S. Army Military District of Washington. I mean, I would imagine that it exists because Facebook doesn't just give pages to anybody.
Right. Okay, there's the large delegate bar. Aha, yes. Nations cap. Here we go. All right, let's pull this up. We're getting close. We're getting close. All right. Screen share. Blammo. All right, January 14th, 2021. National Capitol being turned into Fortress Washington ahead of inauguration. 7-foot non-scalable fencing around the Capitol, topped with razor wire. Behind it, hundreds of armed National Guardsmen. Blah, 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 blah. Plans call for the National Ball to be closed to the public for security reasons. Streets blocked off, concrete barriers throughout the city protecting it. All right, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Businesses boarded up as well. Yay! Hey, they found somewhere to sleep. That's
Yep.
fun.
Oh, trust me, they'll find somewhere to sleep.
Like kittens sleeping in a barrel. Okay, we did not get the map I was looking for. So let's see. Map of Washington. Wait, Military District of Washington. Map of Military District of Washington. Wikipedia. MDW. That's not it. This is talking about command structure, and they're including all of DC. Yeah, that's not it. Fuck me running. Oh. Okay. Yeah. U.S. Military District, Washington, public. So that's it. All right. Okay. Let's just go here then. I'm gonna have to do it off memory. Share this tab instead. Okay.
All right.
So Fort Leslie McNair, East Potomac Park, National Mall, White House, Capitol, going up to Union Station. That's the train station there on the right. Basically, everything that you see here in green, including some other juicy tidbits, is a separate political entity from even the District of Columbia because it's subject to different security perimeter. And so, like, for example, you'll notice, like, a lot of the roads that even cross the mall, you got the 9th Street Expressway, you got the rail tunnels, that's a tunnel, 3rd Street Tunnel, which is 395. I mean, because,
Yeah.
there's the Capitol building. Mall runs all the way down to Arlington Bridge. And during the inauguration, that was the area that they then beefed up with, walls and razor wire and all this other shit.
Right.
Basically walling off the seat of government itself from the public itself.
Right.
And that's never changed.
Because we're heathens and barbarians, and we don't know how to govern ourselves.
And I've seen maps showing where it was demarcated out per legislation. And right now, I'm not able to find it because we don't prepare this shit in advance.
Well, because they've decided to remove it from public view at the moment.
That's all right.
For some reason. Like, let me
dip my balls in it one more time. Let's go back up here. Let me dip my balls in it again. Where you at, motherfuckers? Blam! That's right. That's right. Get my fucking balls in. Oh, there was that other thing I was going to talk about.
Well, check this out real quick.
The
Let's
power
see.
grid thing. That's right. I remember now. Okay.
Power grid thing. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Substations and
Yeah.
because they got to get more power up to that data center that's going into the motorcycle parking facility there on that mountain. Anyways,
Let me see. Now I got to remember how to share this with you. All right, now everybody should be able to see it. So this is the army.mil page. The joint task force, whatever the fuck extension it is of the army.mil website. But it says right at the top of the page, we have deliberately taken some of our web pages and content offline in order to comply with executive orders and OSD policy. So apparently, whatever it is that was on that page previously, we're not supposed to know about now.
well, for reasons
It's
of
a matter of
security,
national security.
it's classified.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid a lot of those unknowns are just going to remain unknowns. Shout out Donald Rumsfeld
Yeah.
and Frederick Douglass, because it turns out the
Oh,
plantation.
Rummy stole that from a black man?
No, the plantation that Donald Rumsfeld bought and moved into and retired in was the very plantation that owned Frederick Douglass. But to be fair, it's Tidewater, Maryland, and the crab cakes are really good. So hurry up and pick that cotton and go make a speech as an emancipator in your later years whenever you manage to escape, boy. Anyhow, Rumsfeld and Frederick Douglass. Who knew?
Yeah. It's an
Remember,
interesting confluence.
power concedes nothing without a demand.
So when I was living in Acapulco, Yona, I think I've talked about this on the broadcast before. It was a common sight when you would go out into public in Acapulco and other parts of Mexico as well, where you would see National Guard troops on the street.
Mhm.
They'd be in stores, grocery stores, various other mercados, just all over the place.
But
Driving,
you're talking
driving
about
down on the road.
regular military members versus
No, these were
Policía
National Guard.
Federal.
These were National Guard.
Yeah, National Guard. Yeah,
Yeah,
soldados,
yeah.
not policías. Soldados.
Well, there were it. So, correct. Not Policia. I mean, there was Policia too.
Right,
Obviously.
but you see, what you're speaking about is something that I was really championed aggressively by Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, or AMLO for short.
Mhm.
Um, is he still president, or I thought it was Scheinbaum now?
No, they got some Jewish woman now.
Yeah, Scheinbaum, Claudia Scheinbaum. One of the numerous Mexican Jews. Am I right?
Right.
But
There's like 6
AMLO,
million of them or something.
AMLO really blew that up. He really blew it up because he was having chain of command issues with the different federal polices and the different federal law enforcement agencies. So
Right. They didn't
realized
want to do
that with
what he
his
told them to do.
executive authority and his executive powers, he had more direct authority as commander in chief of the Mexican armed forces.
Right.
So that's why he said, well, instead of hiring more police or trying to get more oversight or power and control over all the different law enforcement agencies, I'll just balloon the size of my military domestically, and I'll just use my military for my own policing. And
It's
that's the
reasonable.
approach they're taking,
Yeah.
particularly in certain areas of the country, very much so, like Chiapas
Hmm.
and Merida, which is like getting over by the Yucatan, and also Sinaloa, Nayarit, Guerrero, which I think Acapulco's in Guerrero State.
Correct. Just
Although the capital would
southwest of
be
Chilpancingo.
yeah, the capital of Guerrero would be Chilpancingo.
Yeah. It's basically the halfway
capital.
point between Acapulco and Mexico City.
And of course, Iguala is in Guerrero State, and that's where the Ayotzinapa 43 students, los 43 students, they call it the Escuela Normal because it's like a teacher school for teaching teachers. And I think what they finally figured out was that the bus they were on apparently had drugs hidden inside the bus seats because the federal police was working with one of the cartels in a smuggling operation, and they put it on the wrong bus, and then the students got on the bus, so they had to disappear the
Oopsie.
students. And I think to this day they still haven't gotten remains of the 43 students.
Probably not. Probably not. But anyway, what I was getting at is when I was living down there, and I first got down there, it was odd. It was a little odd, right? Like it was something that I wasn't used to, and I recognized that I wasn't used to it at the time. So I was like, all right, well, just kind of see how it goes. And the interesting thing about it is I actually got to interact with a fair amount of the National Guardsmen that I would come into contact with as I was, out in the city doing whatever it was that I needed to do that day.
And of course, they're soldiers, not cops, and so it hits very different.
Well, yeah, because the way it works there, or at least how it was for Acapulco, because as I later came to find out, Acapulco was kind of a special case, right? Because of the resistance that the federales encountered from the locals. If you were, if your detail was Acapulco, that's where you were stationed as a National Guardsman. You weren't from Guerrero, right? You were from somewhere else in Mexico, because they didn't want the people that were stationed there to have any sort of connection to the local area.
Well, that's part of the anti-corruption laws that they passed because of the whole problem with the graft and bribe.
But so over time, as I lived there and kind of, started trying to integrate myself into the culture, it just became normal, right? It became something that I saw every day because I did see it every day. I'd see them patrolling on the Costera in their vehicles or on foot or whatever, or you'd see them in the stores walking around like in Walmart. Yes, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen that have never been out of the borders of the United States of America, they have Walmarts in Mexico. I know it's hard to believe. You haven't seen it on the 11 o'clock news before, but it's true. Chickens. They do. They have, and Domino's Pizza.
Yep. And anyway. Papa John's. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, if you went to Mexico and ate at the KFC, just kick your own ass right now.
Well, I would say that if you went to Mexico,
you're in Mexico and you're going to eat at the Kentucky. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, it's true.
You're in Mexico.
You got all those little shops right on the corner that make the best fucking food ever.
Sanders asshole. Yeah. I mean, goddamn.
Look, they're Americans, Yona. They don't know no better.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it.
Well,
first thing I did.
When you go to Tulum, when you're at Playa del Carmen, at Cancun, you want your Hard Rock and your McDonald's, and because you're on spring break and you're in Mexico, and look, this is us at the Cancun McDonald's, and this is us at the Cancun KFC. We were in Mexico at Playa del Carmen. Never even made it on dry land, really, but wow. Well, it's expensive right there. That's an expensive little spot to be in.
I bet. But no, first thing I did when I got there was head out to the food stalls in the street and
Oh,
get something to eat. It's one of the best damn meals I've ever had in my life. I'll tell you that.
first
But
time I went to the fruit market
mm,
and I found the little grandma stall where the abuelas were making the food,
uh-huh.
and I just got me this huge freaking tamale, still inside the corn husk. Like
Yep.
I had to unwrap it
Uh-huh.
myself. Oh my god!
That's
I'm
how you
like,
do it.
I've never seen a tamale that's got like lima bean and carrot and corn and like, oh my god, it was so good. And it had this like pork roast, what they call pernil,
Hmm.
roasted pork. Um, just the tenderest. It just like, oh, it just melt. Oh my god,
You know, to
everything I ever ate, even the drinks. Like they had this pozole, which is like a cocoa drink,
right.
pozole or something like that. Then there was like a red horchata and a white
Mhm.
cinnamon horchata.
Mhm.
Oh my fucking god, dude! When are we going back?
When are we going back? Um, well, we definitely
Oh,
ain't going to DC because I don't think DC's got any of that. But you know what DC does
no, I
have?
meant Mexico.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know.
God.
But DC does have the National Guard on the streets now.
But to be fair, 30 years off and on working in Marion County, it was a regular sight during planting and harvesting season to see the helicopters landing in the Southeast Kentucky Drug Force Task Force with the Kentucky National Guard and the Kentucky State Police out there flying choppers, hovering, just, you know, maybe 100 or 200 foot above people's forests and cornfields and
Wow.
searching all over Marion County to find that elusive weed. And
Mm.
then on a couple of surveys, I was even lucky enough. Oh, one time, it's going to be a good story when it starts out. There was one time pulled in. So I was at the old Don B. Dry place, Old Lick Creek, Bradfordsville, Kentucky, right off State Route 337. Oh, I remember whose land it is now, and I'm not going to say. Anyway, so I'm out there doing my GPS. I actually wasn't surveying for that particular landowner that day, but they're good friends of mine, and that's where I had an intermediate benchmark that I'd set with steel pen and cap and everything because I was doing a special project that day where I had some spare time and I was taking about 4 to 5 hours to use my GPS receivers and connect four different huge data sets for different survey projects that were like, you know, basically A, B, C, and D, we'll say, spanning an area west to east, roughly about 8 miles and about 2 miles high. So, like a huge rectangle area. And I've got 4 point clusters from 4 areas that I've actually surveyed on the ground, taken data, got XYZ coordinates, all that stuff, set pins. And what I was doing it for was because at that point I had obtained all of the old Virginia records and old Kentucky land records for the original patent surveys, land warrants, and land grants. But when the original Virginia land grants were surveyed by George May, surveyor of Pencastle County, later surveyor of Kentucky County, later surveyor of Jefferson County, Virginia, because the surveys began in 1774 when it was still the British colony of Virginia.
Right.
And so I'm getting all these surveys together and I want to actually try to remonument land grants on the ground. And I realized in order to do that, it's not economical for me to survey somebody's little 5 acre lot and tie into the corners of a 5,000 acre land grant. No one in the right mind that's wanting me to survey their 5 acre house lot is going to understand Why am I surveying 6 miles away to the other corner of a 5,000-acre land grant that was marked 223 years ago? And why am I paying for that? So it never happened.
Hmm.
But over time, when I began using GPS receivers, I could give actual real coordinate values to each point file. So now my XY coordinates aren't just dummy starting from a zero. Instead, I've got actual northings and eastings,
Right.
Latin long, which meant now I could actually place point clusters on the ground. But was it accurate? I mean, precision's a whole nother thing. Most important, is it accurate? Is it correct or not?
Right.
We'll deal with how precise it may be later. Is it off by an inch? Is it off by a foot? Who cares? Is it in the right fucking general place first? You know. So I go to tie in all these surveys, set my tripod down there, and it's an 8-track GPS receiver, so I'm trying to get survey grade precision. So I actually wanted my horizontal plus or minus 3 mils. Vertical needs to be plus or minus 6 millimeters. So we're talking, basically my horizontal wiggle is about 3 cunt hairs. Vertical wiggle is about 5 cunt hairs. Um,
That's reasonable.
16th of an inch and eighth of an inch, basically. So all of a sudden, I hear this it's just getting louder and louder. That sounds like bulldozers or something. I don't know. An MRAP, 2 Humvees, and a military green bulldozer come up the hallway. I'm the only one there on my tripod survey. I just got done putting out some weed. One of the Humvees has already got dope plants hanging out of the back of it. Hmm. Oh, my heart's about to beat out of my chest. I was so fucking nervous. I thought, oh my God, I'm so fucked. Lucky for me, one of the guys in the Humvees has got done honor guard with me at my American Legion Post 49. But, Selma, what are you doing out here?
Oh, wow.
Who you surveying for? I'm tying in this thing for the land grant, blah, blah, blah. Well, we found a shitload of weed up here. And there's a way more back there. And I was like, I'm looking, oh, that was my next. I think I'm done surveying for today. That's enough for today. I'm going home. God damn. But
I'll walk over here a little bit, then I'm going
I
home.
did figure out from that occupation on the ground that my GPS receivers weren't as accurate as or precise as advertised.
Hmm.
And I was looking at a bust of almost 30 inches or 2.5 feet. At
I,
which point,
I'm sorry that happened, or congratulations. I don't know.
well, I it wasn't close enough for me. So I went back out there 2 weekends later to just run an actual traverse line on the ground with tripods shooting from prism to prism between the two benchmarks where there was the 2.48 foot bust.
Right.
Um, this time when I'm going through Thornton's property, fucking dope chopper lands. National Guardsmen are getting out of that. And so you brought up that thing in Mexico with them, and I realized these motherfuckers were doing all kinds of unwarranted illegal searches and seizures all over people's property under the ostensible guise of fighting the war on drugs. And I mean,
Well, yeah.
they were driving over people's fences, they were driving over
Yeah.
trees, they were just making an absolute mess. Some properties they found weed, other properties they never did. Well, I mean, if you're one of the property owners where they just drove over your fence and your horse got out and everything else, like who do you get? The compensation, trespassing? Was that a federal taking of my property? I mean,
That's a good question.
just really, and people are talking about the shit with Trump and the National Guard taking over D.C. and National Guard being sent to the federal building in Los Angeles and all these other things. And I'm like, my God, go back to 1985 and the war on drugs, and we had fucking Black Hawk helicopters landing in every other goddamn cornfield in Kentucky, looking for the weed.
Well, part of the problem with what's going on right now is
Do
that you
people have amnesia? This shit's been going on for a long time.
Well, it has, yes, but it's the way that it's being presented to various segments of the public by their favorite news media, whoever that happens to be. Because
It's all in how
the
you
one
nudge
thing,
it.
exactly, the one thing that I can tell you about the reports that I've seen of it so far from the news media is nobody really seems to know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're trying to either scare the crap out of their audience or they're trying to one up somebody else.
Yeah.
So basically, from what I can tell, is nobody knows what the fucking truth is about what's going on, but everybody seems to think they do. I don't think fucking any of them, as far as I can tell, have actually lived in the area for any time whatsoever. So I don't know why anybody would listen to them about it.
What was the great compelling reason that Trump basically has instituted martial law across all of DC?
Crime. Crime was out of hand.
Well, the good news is
DC Metro was not doing a good enough job to protect the citizens and the people who work in DC. Essentially, that's how it's going to
now we
to
get
be,
to the part we've
sponged.
been holding back this whole episode. Now we're getting to the heat of the meat.
Yeah.
The good thing is Donald John Trump.
I mean, he's already said that he wants a new crime bill. Because we just got rid of the dude that wrote the old crime bill, so we got to put a new crime bill in.
And as the duly installed POTUS,
POTUS with the MOTUS.
States, actually, within the District of Columbia, he does have the authority to declare martial law at any fucking time.
Yeah,
because
he is still the chief
District of
executive.
Columbia is not a state. The District of Columbia is basically it's like a dictatorship of Congress.
Kinda.
Until the president decides
it's a
that
federal
he wants to wear the
ward.
little hat for a while, and then the president can wear the little hat. Otherwise, it goes back to
honestly the best analogy to make to DC is like Haiti. Who we found out that the spiritual successor to Blackwater is going to be conducting operations in for the next year.
Eric Prince? Blackwater?
Not Blackwater. It's his new gig.
But I'm talking about it's the same
Vectus,
old Blackwater's
Vectus
Eric
Global.
Prince. But it's Eric Prince's latest creation.
Yeah, he's going back to Haiti because apparently he didn't loot it for fucking all of its resources last time he was there. So he's got to go back and finish the job. But the way that DC exists as a political entity is similar to Haiti or Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Or shit, what are the island, some of the islands that we have out in the Pacific?
It's a managed territory.
Right.
And you might not like the managers, Karen, but it is what it is.
It has no inherent legal sovereignty of its own outside of the federal government and never has. That's what is so bizarre to me about all the people that are getting bent out of shape about what's going on now because of whatever political team it is that they happen to subscribe to. because all it does is tell me
But it's always
that these
been that
people,
way.
that's what I'm saying. These people have no fucking clue what reality looks like because they're getting all bent out of shape about this. They have no idea how any of this shit works at all. And they're
Virginia
proving
has
it with
no
their behavior.
say-so over the district. Maryland has no say-so over the district. And
Nope.
best of all the residents in the district,
Have no
they
say.
don't have any say-so either.
Nope.
Suck it.
You're right. They're literally at the mercy of the federal government. Most of the time that's Congress. This time it just happens to be the executive branch.
Technically, District of Columbia residents are taxed without representation. Now they have the
That's
Eleanor
correct.
Holmes.
That's why DC license plates say taxation without representation.
Yeah. The Eleanor Holmes Norton is her name.
Oh, that scumbag?
She's technically the representative, the unrecognized
She has no
representative
power. She's a
for
figurehead.
DC. But she's allowed to sit.
She's allowed to sit, but her vote is meaningless.
Right. As are all the votes of everyone in the District of Columbia. And that's why
For everything but local elections. Local elections are the only place where the voice of the actual residents of the district get counted. That's it. Which, kind of makes you wonder, why would anyone want to live under those kind of conditions? Because basically you're fucked either way.
Right.
But people still live there.
Well, eventually you grow a brain. And if you're black, you just move over the line to PG. And if you're white, back to Alexandria. Anyways.
Or further west, hopefully. Alexandria is turning into a shithole even.
I've got class. I'm totally skipping Franconia. Don't get me started. Bad part of town. Better off getting up by I don't know, go out. Honestly, at this point, I'd probably head for Manassas or something. Yeah.
I mean,
what's the alternative? What, are you going to go to Leesburg? Oh, God.
Fuck no.
Oh,
God, no.
God. Why?
I mean, if you got to be that close, Manassas is probably the obvious choice. I mean, you could go just a little bit further west and go into Fauquier County if you can afford it. Otherwise, if you're looking for something, that's more reasonably priced, you're going to be looking even further west at something like Page County.
Excuse me.
And then you might not have indoor plumbing, so.
Don't fuck my county. Fuck your county.
That's right.
Anyway.
Fuck your county, too.
Oh, man. I'm going to look it up here. White's Ferry. I took that ferry boat so many times. White's Ferry, Virginia.
I think it's already stopped.
Oh, yeah. It was shut down.
COVID killed it.
It still says temporarily closed.
No, they're not going to reopen. It's been 4 years or something now. Right. It's been shut down.
The iconic White's Ferry and all it represents and means to this town is unlikely to ever operate again. Because the bastard that owned the Maryland bastard strip of land in front of the Virginia landing of the ferry said, we're not going to let you cross our bastard strip unless you post a $5 billion or $5 million surety bond or insurance bond. Or something. They're like, what?
They were extorting the ferry operators.
Money.
Yeah.
A bastard strip, for those that don't know, let's say
it's a strip
you own a house
father, right?
lot. Let's say that you own a house lot on a city street, but it only runs down to the back edge of the sidewalk, okay? But the city made a mistake and they only own the land up to the top of the curb. So one of your crafty neighbors figures out that, oh shit, the city only owns to the top of the curb. You only own to the back of the sidewalk. That means all the grass between the curb and the sidewalk and the sidewalk
Ah,
itself, I can go buy that land. And now you can't get to the actual street itself without crossing my 4 foot wide, 500-foot long bastard strip where
so
I
that's
bought
why
the
it's called a
sidewalk down
bastard
the
strip.
entire
I get
city
it.
block to fuck every one of my neighbors and extort them for money.
Yeah.
People do that shit.
Well, apparently it's legal because it happened.
They're called bastard strips because whoever does that knowingly is a fucking bastard.
Fucking bastard. Yeah.
That's why they're called bastard strips.
Uh, do
Usually,
you?
bastard strips occur when a new highway or a new railroad is built across the farm, and there may be an historic property line that's straight, and you've got a highway or something that's curving, and it gets really close to the line. It may even go across the line and come back out. And now you end up with maybe two bastard strips that are not perfectly rectangular, but they may extend for 500, 1,000, 2,000 feet and never get wider than 4 or 5 feet in width.
Wow.
And so it literally looks like, if you plot the deed for it, it looks like an eyelash. But you're able to be a bastard and landlock somebody and then extort them for cash. Boy, do I miss real estate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's COVID land, man. It's land of the fee.
If I could ever give anyone any advice when it comes to owning land, number one, if you're ever going to own property, whether it's a timeshare, a condo, leasing property, whatever, learn what the fuck HOA stands for.
Hmm.
That's a homeowners association.
Avoid
If
them
you
like the plague.
ever, if you ever are offered any opportunity in property that is under the jurisdiction of a local homeowners association, run the other way as fast as you can. Or skip the HOA and just move to Beijing and join the Chinese Communist Party.
Mm,
Same thing, pretty much.
pretty much. I mean,
Hail Mao.
I never
Mao
understood why
Zedong.
people would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a property just so that somebody else could tell them what color they can paint it and whether or not they can make alterations to that property.
Because this is the
Somehow
sneaky
that
part.
just never made sense to me.
You'll look at the deed, and the deed will list off this easement for a water line, and it'll list off this easement for a gas
Mm.
transmission line, and it's got this driveway easement, all this stuff. And then at the very end, it'll say, and this property is part of Shit Sniff Buzz Nuts Homeowners Association. That may be it. Or it may say Homeowners Association and related covenants, ordinances, and restrictions,
Ugh.
which is called a COR, a covenant ordinance restriction of a
Right.
homeowner association, which is the establishing document where they go through and they put all their rules of, you're only allowed to park on the left side of the road on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Otherwise, it's a ticket. Tuesdays and
Right.
Thursdays, the other side. You can only have polka dot fences on the west side. They got to be corduroy fences on the right side, preferably with denim siding. And you, I'm not making this shit up. I'm
No,
really not.
he's not. He's
I'm
well,
really
it's
not.
here's the thing. Anybody who's actually purchased property before knows that you're not making it up. Anybody who's never purchased property before doesn't matter. They'll either find out or they won't. If they don't, then they really don't matter.
So then, as the surveyor working for a client, and they're asking me, well, what kind of fence can I build? I'm looking at all the legal documents that says it's part of this HOA. Now I know, okay, there's definitely a covenant ordinance restriction out there. Now I need to get a copy of it. What deed book is it in? Well, then I finally find where it's supposed to be filed. Oh, they didn't file it yet. Well, they've already sold all the lots in phase one. They're already on phase two. Oh, well, you just have to reach out to them. So I'll reach out to them. Yeah, I'm surveying this lot, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we normally work with this other surveyor. Okay, that's fine. I'm the county surveyor. I work with the courthouse. So you guys didn't file your covenants, ordinances, and restrictions as required by law and Virginia Henning statutes. So I can't really inform my client unless you're going to provide me with a copy of it because you've not made it a part of the public record. They're like, well, you're not a homeowner here and we don't work with you. We work with the other surveyor. I was like, oh, okay. So you work with Reed Spalding. Okay. Washington County surveyor. Right. Okay. Who I was working for at the time. My dad was sick and I already had an arrangement to work under his stand because my dad was dying of cancer. So I'm like, okay, all right. And I go back and I ask Reed. I'm like, hey Reed, need the covenant ordinance restrictions for this HOA. He's like, oh yeah, I still haven't gotten them. I said they were going to give them to me. Oh, okay. Lo and behold, a week later, I'm in a deposition.
Oh, joy.
Over this thing.
Oh, they're going to do that to Billy Jeff.
And they're like, the landowner's like, I want to build this fence, but I don't want to incur expense from the HOA. And I thought there was a fencing standard, but no one can find out what it is and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just the dumb surveyor with tape measure in the room. What the fuck do I know? All these lawyers are hawing around. And I spoke up and I said, by the way, gentlemen, in order to have title ownership in property, whether it be simple, general warranty, or quitclaim deed, you have to record a copy with the court clerk's office. If you don't record a written copy of your property title, boat title, car title, dildo title, you don't own dick. That's the law. That's been the law since, I don't know, 1607. Come the fuck on. You have to have written proof of title recorded and copied at the courthouse, or it ain't fucking yours. There's no fucking proof. You and everybody else owns it then. Let me see the title paper. So I speak up in their little deposition meeting and I say, you say that it's a part of the HOA, but nowhere do you say that the covenants, ordinance, and restrictions are attached and made a part herein. You just simply said it's part of this HOA. And then when I go to where that's supposed to be filed, it's still not even been filed with the courthouse at this point. So it seems like a non-starter for me. I would think that the homeowners association would be estoppel from any enforcement against the subject landowner because there's no way through public notification to even know what restrictions would be in place.
Right.
That being the case, how can they enforce restrictions that no one knows exists? Now, they got their phase 2 and phase 3, and I guess they could apply to those if they ever decide to actually record that legal instrument. But until they do, none of the shit matters because it's not a recorded instrument. But keep asking me questions. And I didn't get asked another single question. And don't you know, they settled out of court.
Huh. Imagine that.
and he built a 12-foot tall fence. Because the guy in the HOA rides around the neighborhood in his little golf cart every day and spies on everybody that lives there. So don't ever buy property in an HOA.
Yeah.
How bad
Pretty
do you want to
damn
live
good
in hell
anecdote.
forever? How bad do you want to live in hell forever? Just why? Why? I don't know. Kiss of death.
Yeah. That's about all I got, though. I don't think we're under martial law yet.
Unless you live in an HOA,
Well,
then it kind of feels like it.
but that's really, it's more that's more Soviet style.
Is there anything worse than when you can't have peace of mind because you literally have asshole fucking neighbors? Yona pro tip, that's not a problem. You need to be the asshole neighbor and they'll all keep their distance. That's how it works.
I mean,
Get off my lawn!
I can confirm that it does work.
Get off my lawn.
I do get left alone most of the time.
But you got to do it in the Harrison Ford voice, like, get off my damn plane.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I closed my eyes, I would have thought that was Han Solo saying that.
Have I ever shared the air traffic control of Harrison Ford?
Yes.
The ATC chatter? That's good
Yes.
stuff.
Yes,
That's
we've
really
done that
stuff.
bit. We've absolutely done that bit. It's
Oh,
time to get
God.
out of here, though. It's midnight. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah, I believe we made it to the end of 81.
Yeah.
And let's see. Is it? I was trying to think. There was some 4-digit code that I'm not supposed to say online. Oh, my PIN number is 8647, but that also coincides with the thing that technically now I could be. So let me reiterate for the record. I'm all for Trump. Don't be getting no ideas. Just my PIN number that I should never share. Okay, that's all I got.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Got to check my balance. Woohoo!